So all right, here we are, everybody. I'm gonna do a quick little tasting of this, let you know what I think. Again, not an expert, my first time doing this in any kind of video format, so bear with me. Again, these came from Whisky Bry, Bry Simpson. You can find him on Instagram at Whisky Bry, that's whiskey without an E, WHISKYBRY. He's a fine Canadian citizen who was kind enough to share some of his samples. And I think what we have here, normally I'm gonna try to do some of these blind, but this is my first time, so I know what I'm drinking today. This first one, I have it listed here, is Gooderham and Worts, 17-year-old Canadian whiskey, which is, then number 2 here, we have, he threw in a little bourbon for me because he knows I'm a huge bourbon fan. So this is a Russell Reserve pick from Gordon's in Boston, single barrel pick of Russells, which are very popular right now. And then lastly, he gave me, actually, literally the last of his bottle of J.P. Weiser's last barrels, excuse me. So he gave me the last of his bottle of the last barrels. That's how you know how nice of a guy he is. I told him he shouldn't have, and it was too nice, but he had already left it, and it was too late. Thank you, Bry. You're really far too kind. So we'll finish with the bourbon, I think. So we'll try the 2 Canadians first. So this is 17-year-old. I know nothing about this. I know very little about Canadian whiskey in general. So this is a 17-year-old whiskey from Canada. I'm trying to think of what Fred Minnick taught me about tasting whiskey. You want to look at the legs of it up against the light. It's a pretty light color for 17 years old. Normally you think whiskey is pretty dark by the time it gets, into those teen years. But in Canada, aging might be a little bit more temperate than it might be up here. They may not get as hot as it gets down here in Kentucky. Now we smell it. It's actually almost very bourbon-esque. It's got a little bit of vanilla-ness to it. Definitely like rye spice in there. I know Canadian whiskeys have a lot of rye. Not a whole lot of alcohol burn on it, which is nice. Okay, see, I don't pick up a whole lot. Ooh, like caramel candy a little bit on the palate. I don't know the ABV on this. It tastes like it's probably 45%, so maybe 86, 90 proof tops. If it's more than that, I'll be very surprised because it goes down very smoothly. That's actually really nice. Again, I'm a complete amateur. I'm going to say that several times because I'm learning just like you guys. This is what you guys can do in your own basements though, in your own bourbon bunkers, in your own man caves, whatever it is, in your kitchen. That's literally how I started. Before I was lucky enough to have my own house, I did it in my apartment, in my kitchen. Ask my wife. She did not love it. Yeah, it's got some baking spice in there, very vanilla forward, but without a lot of alcohol burn. It's very easy sipper. Gooderham, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Gooderham Worts 17-year-old. That's very, very nice. All right, next we have Weiser's Last Barrels. This one's 45%, so this is a 90 proof. This is a 14-year Canadian whiskey, according to the label, which everyone knows how believable the labels are. Made of one-of-a-kind Canadian whiskey made using sour mash method, resulting in a complex yet smooth whiskey. The last batch has been maturing in oak since 2001 and won't be made again. Famous last words, literally. So, 14-year-old Canadian whiskey, last of its kind apparently, and last of Bry's bottle. Sorry. This one's deeper, which is interesting because this one's 14 years, a little bit deeper in color. Trying to make Fred proud here. Legs Decent legs. Some thickness to it. More spice on this one. A little bit more like baking spice. Trying to keep my mouth open. Again, also kind of, you know, it's got the rye spice, baking spice. There's still that vanilla carameliness to it. A little bit of like butterscotch almost. Let's taste it. It's a little more bitter on the palate than the last one. Judging by the burn on this one, I would say the last one definitely was probably in the same thing, about 45%, so about 90 proof. Goes down pretty easy. The finish almost has like a really, really minor licoricheness to it. Almost like that Twizzlers, like the black licorice, you know? A little bit of that like dark cherry on the very end of the finish there. Take one more sip. I'm trying to be quick, I swear. Yeah, almost like dark fruit, like a dark, deep cherry on that one. It's actually really, really nice. These are my first Canadian whiskeys, guys. I mean, I had Crown Royal in college, but you know, Crown and Coke don't really count when you're tasting whiskey, right? So, my first two like real tasting Canadian whiskeys, and I'm very very impressed. They're very bourbon like, which is an easy transition. And speaking of which, this Russell Barrel single barrel pick from Boston. Russell's has some awesome single barrel picks. I believe I have one right here. This one I actually got at Buster's in, I believe, Memphis. Buster's Liquor and Wines. But these, along with the Knob Creek single barrel picks, are some of the best buys in bourbon for your money. You can get some great age, some great flavors, and really unique single barrel picks. Go, some good amber color. I don't know the age on this. Ooh. Very cherry forward. I like that. I'm a big fan of cherry forward noses. A little bit of spice, but that cherry and vanilla is very very strong. Ooh. That's like a vanilla. I'm not gonna say a bomb. It's not a bit, but that is a very vanilla forward bourbon. Ooh. Nice kind of medium spice finish, which is kind of a wild turkey thing. The spicy finish is very, very common for them. Yeah, that's really nice. I'll tell you to seek it out, but it's a single barrel pick, which is what makes them both very cool and unique. Go find your local store. Go find a single barrel pick of honestly anything, because you're always going to find something unique. You're going to find something different, and get to know the people who pick it, because that's what's going to help you pick the flavor. If you like what they like, you're going to end up with some great whiskeys. If you don't, then you go somewhere else. It's that simple. I'm going to take one more sip of this. Oh, baby. Yeah. Had some very vanilla awesomeness. Thank you, Bry. Whisky Bry on Instagram. That's whiskey without an E. This is the kind of awesome thing that I get to experience given my job and everything like that. This is the kind of thing that I want to share with you guys. And that's the coolest thing about the bourbon community, the whiskey community, is we share. You're meeting awesome people. That's the coolest thing about it. I'm trying not to be long-winded, but honestly, meet people. Go out, meet other whiskey drinkers. Share samples. Share what you like, what you don't like. Everything. Thank you, Bry. This won't be the last time we share a drink together, I promise. Now let's get to some questions.